welcome back to racing here in Maryland. Keith, how's your weekend go?
Good weekend. Yeah, beautiful week, busy week. We're back at it. I mean, they just keep knocking us out with fields after fields after fields, big fields galore.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a great weekend last weekend. We ended the week with some good prices. You know, same day as LJ 25-20. Stormy Flight for Ham. He got it done as a value play for us. But it was hard work, and hopefully you stayed and played along with us on Sunday. But back at it again for a great weekend. We've got some stakes to look forward to on Sunday.
Yep.
Beautiful afternoon this afternoon. I mean, if you can come out and join us, please do so. Just perfect conditions.
Absolutely. That track is fast and the turf is firm. Things are looking pretty good here. Nice little, we got some clouds, we got some overcast kind of, but the sun's still shining.
Yeah.
Perfect racing day, Keith.
Yeah, and welcome back to my man Mike Harmon. The Harmons are back. They tore up Vegas a little bit, but hey, we got him back in the saddle. And the Hammer, I got to talk to the Hammer. I got a little beef I'm going to discuss with him later. I hope he stops into the press box. You know, retirement now, but he pops in every now and then. He's got to answer a few questions.
There we go. Hopefully you'll get them answered later this afternoon, Keith, as we start off with that early pick 5 in the turf, a mile and an eighth here for the girls 3 and up, and a claiming 20,000, which have never won 2. Scratches in the 7 and the 10. Keith, you go with the number 9 on the outside, queen of the dance here for Charlie Frock. Tori Alba gets the call.
Interesting race. Once an Eagle, going to be an awfully short price. I think lined right there, 7-5 with Georgia Ruiz for Trombetta. And you look at that last number, you look at the race closing up at a mile and an eighth. Looks like it should suit her just fine. A mile and an eighth, for some of these, I think you're going to see some flattening out. But Queen of the Dance, I think, is the second best speed in the race. I do believe the 6 Gambet's going to go ahead and go for one of our favorite trainers, Suzanne Statenius, who went against the other day. Gift of Gab came and got it done at a short price. Gift of Gab in very good form right now. Gambet to go out. I think Queen of the Dance can go ahead and set up shop just outside of that one. Go ahead and make that move. These two could carry it a long, long way, no doubt about it. I'm going to use the 6 underneath and Exactus, but Queen of the Dance, maybe you get the better of that one, try to separate late, looking for Once an Eagle to make that run as well. Osa, a price shot here. Osa, you look at, the last time it was hampered. Last 2 trips at Laurel hampered by wider trips. A lot of clutter, a lot of traffic. I think will be suited from the inside with Brasino. So looking for the speeds to carry. Yeah, Once an Eagle. I just can't take that short price to get you started. She'll be in the Exactus, but I'm not going to be using Strong on top.
And he goes with 9, 4, 2, 3. Queen of the Dance as his top selection there for Keith Fusta. Let's go ahead to his early pick 4 ticket. Keith, what do you got for us?
Early pick 4 ticket 27. Hammers. Yeah, these things are costly, no doubt. And it still might not be enough. Race 2 with the 2, 3, and 7 Summer State of Mind off the claim. The 3 One-Way Farrier. Barn Change in the 7, Minister for Magic. Scratch the 6, Work His Life was going to be an awfully short price in race 2. We'll wait for another day for that, guys. So 2, 3, 7 to get you started. Race 3 to the 4 and 9, Battlefield Park, White Series. I like is the speed. Race 4, 3 deep with a 1, 4, and 5. Wrap it up with race 5 with 3 as well. The 2, 6. I'm sorry. Now let's go back. Turn. The wind's getting my pages here. 2. Andres, the first-time starter, kind of an all-or-nothing for me. The 6, My Endeavor, and the 8, Skylar's Brother for Phil Cap, first trainer I ran into today, $27.
There we go. I had a conversation with him as well about his big horse later on today as we kick off this early pick 4 with the claiming 20,000, which have never won 3, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up scratch in the 6. Keith, you go with the number 7 on top, Minister for Magic here, Jane Sabelli, Michael Sanchez.
Yeah, a barn that, year in, year out, does a little bit better than what's going on right now. The tide, I think it's going to turn. And Minister for Magic is just coming out of the right kind of races. Is run against some killers. You go back 3 races back in that optional 2 other than back in June. Indian Lake Arden's lucky to be. Really good horse. And just kind of chased and stayed around, only beaten 4 lengths. We're shortening up. We're changing surfaces. Where the outer speed, yes, Mr. Agent's quick from the inside. I think Fine Faith, even Dance for Green could be part of that flow. But Minister for Magic, I think, gets that relief. Might have a chance to separate, open up a daylight advantage turning for home. We'll have to look in the rearview mirror. Summer State of Mind in very good form. We've got video of this. We're going to go off the claim, a little jump up from 12.5 up to 20. Has won 3 races. Some of these horses taking advantage. The 3-year-olds are taking advantage of this condition. But look at this effort last time out on August the 3rd. Great trip at 7-8. So the bottom is definitely there, built up if things develop for this one to bring a finish. Runs with the hood, see over covering up the ears, but very focused, relaxed. And I like the fact that he was able to kind of track and then grind down that loose speed. I mean, right up on the front. Sustenance. Omar Cummins was an informed horse on the dirt who dives to the inside there for Rudy Sanchez-Solomon. But determination for Summer State of Mind. Informed rival right now to make a run from just off of it.
Also, you go with the number 3 underneath One Way Farrier, as you mentioned, and to wrap things up, Mr. Agent 7231 for Keith.
Yeah, One Way Farrier, I think, just freshened up enough. Tim Kreiser never dismissed when coming to Maryland. 4 for 12 the last few years with these claimers on the dirt. Positive ROI, 232.
And let's go ahead to race number 3. That is back on the turf here in a maiden, claiming 20,000, going 5.5. Second wire finish here for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old. Scratches in the 6, 7, and 12.
Okay.
Keith, you go with the number 9 White Series on the outside. This is for Rudy Sanchez-Solomon. Thais Layapustino, you're going to try and make that front dash.
I agree. And may be able to withstand a little bit of pressure, a little bit of heat around the turn. That last 60, 70 yards is going to be interesting. So there's a little bit of speed, I think, to force the issue. But he may have just run against a little bit better. Really good effort, 3 races back on the page, vying through the speeds, getting the lead. Beltane, a next out winner against state-bred allowance winners down in Colonia. I think White Series definitely has a speed advantage over the favorite. I think Battlefield Park's going to take plenty of play here on the drop. Battlefield Park, pretty eventful trip last time out, turning back in distance. Some questionable chasers. This one definitely going to be rolling late. It looks like through the final 3/16 of a mile with Carrasco for Jimmy Toner.
There we go. 9-4-11-2 for Keith Fusel there in race number 3. We get back to the dirt in race number 4 in this claiming 12-5 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 3, going a mile here. Second wire finish again. Keith, you go with the number 4, she, her, hers on top. Let's go ahead and take a look back at that effort last time out at Timonium for Scotty Wolfendale, Daniel Centeno.
You don't have her in the mix at all. I thought this was a tricky race, Callie. Yeah, and I thought this race at Timonium was a pretty good effort. Yeah, a touch of a hang late, was 4 wide, made that run the challenge. And we saw at Timonium. You want to be fairly close, and an extended run, 4 wide. I'll give you a little excuse there, to hang just a touch late. She is a 3-time winner, this 3-year-old, taking advantage of the condition. She's been okay at the mile distance. I was just trying to envision this race in my head, how it's going to shape up. I think she's going to get a really good patient ride from Centeno to kind of sit just towards the inside off of that speed. I got to see Lady Charlotte going. I think Mo Traffic will be forward. But she, her, hers, confident bump back up off the claim for Scotty Wolfendale. Let's get it done.
There we go. The inside horse, Nail Polish, Aaron McKellen, Victor Carrasco, maybe taking that inside speed, trying to get that inside speed approach. Will this one be quick enough today?
I think quick enough to stay close enough, no doubt. Was only a couple lengths off of 22-4-46 and 2 at the Big T, behind Forgotten Gift, an informed horse for Frock and our man Dave Naylor here today. But yeah, I think Nail Polish has been incredible. Okay, at a route of ground. This barn comes in, protects again with the waiver. Able to do that now. Some tweaks to that whole waiver situation. So Nail Polish, I think, yes, sits inside. Has to be patient. Doesn't want to move too soon into these speeds. But I think we'll have something left through the final 1/8 of a mile.
Absolutely. 4-1-5-8 for Keith Fusel there in race number 4. As we go ahead to race number 5, this is a maiden claiming 12-5. This also starts that Rainbow Pick 6. We have a carryover of $5,017. Let's go ahead and take a look at my ticket. $14.40, I believe, is my price. I take a bit of a gutsy single on the 9. If you want to just go at least maybe one more wide on that, ticket's going to be double. You can split with a friend. 2 deep in races 5, 7, and 9. 3 deep in races 6 and 8. I will discuss that more on the afternoon show. But let's get back to business. Let's get back to the races itself, Keith. Let's talk about this 3/4 of a mile dirt effort in this maiden claiming 12-5 for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. You go with the number 6, My Endeavor, and let's take a look exactly why for Tim Keith and Yomar Ortiz from that effort last out.
You're sharpening up those tickets. I know you got the wagering ambassador, right? You're going to help some people make some money. I think out
California
on the
Crown.
West Coast.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, yeah, getting tied on. And, this is a good effort. A little steady early into the backstretch, and this was a shortening up for My Endeavor. Tim Keefe, runners doing okay of late. I like the resurgence down inside to make that other run. This horse gave up some ground. This is not easy to do. Chinny Tin Tin, that was a Ferris Allen horse. late reported first gelding was able to get to the front and dictate it. My endeavor, I think this is what he wants to do. He wants to sprint. I think he can get good position. He shouldn't be too far back either with our man.
Tim
Tori, no. Who's riding today? Yomar. We got Yomar today. That's right. Okay, my bad.
I expect a good ride out of this one. Let's talk about Skylar's brother. Phil Capilano,
Yes.
Carlos Lopez returns back to the dirt after they tried the turf kind of as an experiment,
Yeah.
but we're hoping for those efforts that we saw early on and the high expectations that went with this one.
Yeah, they wanted turf early. Angel Park. I think there was some turf within that family. And just no fire whatsoever last time out. Now, this is a plunge. It's a little bit of a scary move here because you're right. You're thinking this guy was going to have a little bit more talent. They thought so. It certainly looked like in the beginning. So no protection here, in for the 12-5. Some questionable speeds, I think, that go ahead and go out, set things up. The other, Phil Cap, he said this horse improved well last time out, a confident bump up as well. Bajan Boy, not in the mix. You've got this one right in the mix, running second. So I think with Barbosa, should be forward. But I do think things are going to set up well for Skylar's brother and Lopez. ABC, little bit of a hiccup early. Couldn't get into the game at all last time out. Around the turn, found itself 8-10 lengths out of it. Just couldn't generate too much of a run. But I think consistent enough. Had a lot of tries to use in your exactas, tries and supers. Damon's got a firster in here. Andres, Uncle that's all I got to see. I pay attention. Yeah. This is a barn that's very capable to get a horse, even later on in their career, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old. Watch out for them because that Damon's very patient with his runners. Doesn't run until they should be running. Andres, I think, is one to tab to toad on today.
Absolutely. 6-8-3-2 for Keith Fusel. We will be right back after this commercial break here for the rest of Friday's Tricky Card. And we're back here with the start of this Jackpot Super High Five here in this claiming 20,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3. 5.5 on the turf, second wire finish. Scratches in the 4, 5, and 13. Keith, you have the number 7 on top. This is gonna be fair-haired boy. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Jamie Ness, J. Ron Barbosa. We haven't seen this one on the turf for a couple months, but promising.
We were just joking around a little bit. We got to take a rating hold. We thought it was a half mile at Timonium. We're going to stretch it out to 6.5. We were rolling.
We had to give me a nice little check at the half mile.
Found some trouble, right? No, fair-haired boy. I think back, this is second time Ness, if I'm not mistaken, right? Really kind of ran dull. I mean, no terrible excuse last time out at a short price, but coming back to the turf and seeing what's in front, I think guaranteed an honest pace with Nielsen, the two from the inside, the other speed to the outside. You've got Art of Courage and Ride Diggity Dog, who I think will be looking poised to pounce mid-turn. Will he sustain after making that move? I think he's going to make a move into it at a price. But fair-haired boy, I went back, and it was the two-back race, Callie, that caught my attention at Parks, July the 10th. I got a little stumble. I got a little check into the first turn, and then could have gone inside a little bit sooner, bided its time a little bit, and it might have cost him because got caught in some traffic there at the 3/16 before angling out and finishing well. Now, that was at 2 turns. We're back at 1 turn.
But
this might just work for this guy to make a big run from just off of it.
I like the 7.5 to the 5.5 here. I think, with some of these horses that I pick up, that transfers pretty well. So this horse passed right by me. I love your top selection here, here for fair-haired boy.
It's very easy with these fields that we've been set in front of us, and we go through it, and you're looking at so much information. Just what you said, you glaze over and you just kind of slip by and slip through the cracks. That's kind of what you kind of lean on other people sometime to give you a little bit of a
1,000%.
wake-up call. You're going to
Yep.
see something that I didn't see. I'm going to see something. Rodman might see something, and it's always good
Exactly.
to get that second and third opinion to kind of hash things out before you go to the window, because it's going to help on days like this and proceeding forward throughout the weekend. So, yeah, I'll use fair-haired boy. Freestanding. Let's talk about this one for Ricky Silliman. Off of an okay effort at a mile and a 16th, but I think back to the sprint is going to be the key for freestanding. We have a video, I believe, of the 19th down at Kelowna. Yeah, thanks. And just kind of there's Beltane again in that state-bred other than. We're going to sits off the pace a little bit further, and I think he's fine with this. We've seen some big efforts from freestanding a little further off of that flow. Brings a run, just closes up about 3-4 lengths through that last 3/16 of a mile. Here you go. Half length when it's all said and done. Zip line to heaven, a horse we've seen around here, kind of a key horse. So I'm looking for freestanding as well to make that run from off the pace. I expect I can definitely envision an inside-out trip. A couple of those other speeds leaving. Centano able to draft in a stat for Ricky Silliman. It's kind of been feast or famine. It's interesting that I put the horse in second.
Right.
He's 8 for 22, 36% the last 45 days with a $3 ROI. He's 8 for 22. Everything else has been off the board.
Interesting. I've got another stat to add to that.
Okay.
3 for 5 in the money, Colonial to Laurel. 2 of those have been wins.
All right.
So one of them has been third. So that kind of helps in the direction.
Okay.
So like that, yeah. But do or die with a freestanding underneath. Let's talk about the number 8, Art of Courage, Horacio Paz, Toledo. I normally don't go for speed horses for this 5.5 distance, but you have this one in your mix, so you got to have some confidence.
She's showing a little grit. I have a little confidence. I don't understand, again, you see a 71 by her, 74, conditions still there. Now a drop again. I know we're kind of tailing off of turf season, and maybe that's the case. You're going to see some trainers going ahead, dropping horses precipitously, and that's what happens. So the fact that he's outside of the other speed, I think he can prompt, and it looks like he doesn't mind a little bit of a fight. I'm going to keep him into the mix for sure here. The Depaz runner, the 8, Art of Courage, the 10, Katie's Notion. Yeah, I think was just a little bit too close last time out at Colonial. This one has done better work a little bit further back. Ruiz, what else do you need to see? That's good enough. He'll work the trip from off the pace. That's a tough race, though.
It is a tough race.
7,
so
6, 8, 10.
I tried to sneak in a couple of prices there amongst my picks. So, yeah, 7, 8, 6, 10, 6, 7, 6, 8, 10 for Keith Fustel there with that nice Ricky Silliman stat. As we go on to race number 7 here back on the dirt, 7 furlongs in race 7, 7,500 for the 3-year-olds and upward. You go with the inside horse and trash talking Larry with the weight off Darwin Rodriguez with that inside trip.
Well, the jockey-trainer combo got it last weekend with Isabella's Gloria. Good ride, ground-saving ride, earned a victory. B. West, I think is the horse that beat. The road should go through him. But Trash Talkin' Larry, off a little freshening, route to sprint, almost a $3 ROI for this barn, close to a 20% strike rate. Shortening up to the 70s. This horse has given up ground. Its last couple races had been the victim of some premature moves, but still gives effort and still tries. I think if anybody can kind of engage B. West around the turn, maybe it's a horse like the other Corrales horse, Baron's Legacy, who goes out on a mission to soften things up. Trash Talkin' Larry brings the run from the back of the pack.
Yep, absolutely. Let's talk about the number. So we're going to discussing the number 8 and the 7 as well. The 8, Struger, Jonathan Maldonado, Tori Alba. Outside post is going to be helping this one out a bit. Yeah,
I think Struger can get a good stalking position. Captain B. West goes. Captain Cardo, it's kind of a laggard, infamous no. I think doesn't have a ton of speed. So this one positioned well, was caught by with a 3-wide trip. I think numbers going back in the right direction. 7/8 is okay. This guy 8 years old now, but you go back on the page. April, strong number of 76 and just off of it. When he's feeling good, and take a look at him on the track, he can definitely be a menace against this group. But B. West, video spotlight as well, right, I believe?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at this. And there's that Indian Lake Heart Full of Stars B. West race, battling a long way down inside. And you see my short comment, inside, hounded stubbornly. So, yes, giving up maybe a couple lengths the last 1/8 of a mile. I tell people, watch the video, watch these horses. He's trying. I mean, he is giving his all. Things won't be as demanding today going 7/8 of a mile. If he gets things relaxing and pops clear at the quarter, it could be all she wrote. Look, kind of like the other horse the other day, the old vet that Kieran's won 2 with now.
Yes.
Now, why is the name escaping me? Monday morning quarterback.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Monday morning quarterback there.
QB, yeah.
QB quarterback. 1-8-7-4 Keith Fusel in race number 7. We get back on the turf. Interesting race here in the starter optional 20,000 going 5.5 second wire finish for the girls 3 and up. Scratches in the 4, 7, and 12. Keith, you go with the number 5. Comes back on the turnaround. Dulce Kiera, Charlie DeMario, Dennis Arujo. Very nice, very, very nice performance last time out. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Talk about sheer determination.
Yep.
22-2, 44-3 on a splits, and she's there every step of the way. Some horses had targets. Even a horse like White Knuckle Flyer, can kind of close into things. She wanted no part. She just digs down deep to get the nose bob. She can win back. She likes this distance. Look at the turf. 7 starts, 2 wins, 3/3. Loves the distance. She's not as quick in that opening quarter, all things being equal, with a good break as a Lady Serenity, the 6, or the 11, Pochi Bonsi. But I think she slides into a perfect stalking position today. By the time they hit mid-turn, she can eke out another one. One thing, Charlie DeMario knows Dulce Kiera, knows what makes her tick. She's going to run another one right back today.
Let's talk about your exacta and tap it up. James T. Ryerson, Michael Sanchez coming is probably just going to be stocking off of your top selection.
This is another one on the go back. Again, went through these PPs 3 or 4 times. It was up at 5:30 this morning going through this card. It had to give it some time, but this was interesting. Ryerson been around a long while, and he has snuck in here in the past and gotten a win. And she shortened up last time. Sat off of a 3 or 4 ways, kind of scrambled, leaving the far turn. Got away at 9-1. I think she's going to get away at an okay price. You go back on her page, decent numbers against better, going a little bit longer. Maybe she just wanted to sprint because she got into position pretty easily, without having to be asked, was patient, had a little traffic around the turn, worked through a seam between horses under a steady hand ride. I think things get set up beautifully. She's shown that pop, that close at a router ground. She'll bring a run today at an okay price.
All right. 5-9-11-6 for Keith Fusel in race number 8. Race number 9, we get to an allowance. Field of 4, but still interesting here. We've got some nice horses left in this field going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you and I both go with the number 5 on top. 5 Dreams. I think there's going to be kind of a horse with a bit of an obvious price, so I like how you and I kind of stick with this one here for Jose Magana. Gene Bristino gets the call.
Yeah, it just got a major assist with a couple of these scratches. Spike Zone, Super Chow, extremely fast early. Horses that can carry their speed. Don't mind a little battle up front. But 5 Dreams back on the Lasix. Kind of caught in between horses last time. Gave way grudgingly behind Dean Delivers, who's won 4 in a row since coming north to Ned Allard's barn. But Magana's got this guy in really good form now. And I don't know who's going to go with him. I think he's just quicker through the opening quarter. And if he doesn't get hounded, say leaving that far turn, the 3/8, coming back on the Lasix, I think he can control things up front.
Well, this is what Prince of Jericho used to do.
Used to
do for Brittany and Sheldon.
I've got it written down. I said he's going to put him back into the race like he used to be able to do it. I don't know. He's had some issues, comes off a little bit sluggish that opening quarter, takes a little bit of position. Last time I had under-arrived in 3/8 and not quite running on like I thought. But he's been an ATM machine for these people. What's he, 12 of 15 in the money with 5 wins. You can't dismiss him. You can't really dismiss anybody. I truly believe hit the all button in this race. One more scoop, paired up a couple really big efforts at Parks, was able to beat Twisted Ride and Spike Zone. A little hiccup behind Gordy Knott at 7, only 4 for 8 at the distance. And let's look at our video spotlight horse in Always in a Hurry. Phil Cap talking about it. This horse should be, training well, ready to go again. Did not expect this last time out in late June. Look at this out of the break. A little bit awkward, and then a bounce around and a squeeze. Finds himself 12, 13 lengths out of it. You want to talk about unleashing the fury? Watch this move. Coming about 5-6 wide, top of the stretch. Point Dune's gone, right? 4 to 5. Just had everything his own way. I know going a little bit quick. Look at this run. It sustains that after that trouble.
Just a nice finish.
I went back. Forgot to check if that was an outer flow kind of day. But regardless, that recovery was nothing short of sensational. He's got numbers. He likes this track. He can move up off of that. The key is he going to get just enough help up front to do it? So 5'7", 6'2" for me. And a shorter field, a high-quality field, like a mini stakes for us here on Friday. I lean towards 5 Dreams.
I'm going to be changing my pick 6 and hit the all button because I sent that pick 6 in before I got some of the later scratches. So
any way here.
Definitely. 5-7-6-2. Keith Fusel, race 9, race 10 here for our finale on the turf in this maiden claiming 20,000, going a mile and 16th. We've been short all day. We ended on a long note here. Scratches in the 7, 8, 14, and 15. The 13 does run. So let's talk about your top selection, Keith, in the number 4 in Fire and Knives. Ed Merriman, Forest Boys, comes off of a bit of a layoff. Hadn't seen this one since June.
Yeah, latter part of the card on Sunday had some prices. Over an $11,000 late pick 5. Again, we talk about the low takeout and the payouts what we've had and looking for these get-out kind of horses. That's kind of what I've been conditioned to do now when I'm looking at the last races, and nobody sticks out. So let's give you a little reasoning on Fire and Knives, and it's this. I mean, Fire and Knives, you've got Boyce back. Boyce rode this horse one time on the main track. Hasn't been on this one on the turf, if I'm correct. Right. So you go back to the race at Pimlico, 3 to 4 wide, jump tracks. Okay, but still showed some late run. First time blinkers, last time out. Bumped at the start, wide again, a drift out. I think with some tweaks, much more experienced turf rider aboard. You know the trip. We talk about it. I think he's got enough speed to lay close enough by the time they leave the far turn, just hoping the horses just don't back up and clog things up. Fire Knives, if ever a horse is kind of sitting on a race off the fresh and you run his best, if he can get back to a mid-50, he can win this race. Definitely want to. I'm using this horse at a price.
Well, the horse that's going to be coming out at low prices than my top selection, Master Munnings, Mike Trombetta, Michael Sanchez, decent effort at Laurel off of the layoff last time out. We just come back second time. This one is trying the route, which is a good stat for Trombetta.
Yeah, that number 2 back sticks out. A Gulfstream and another little bit of a drop, so not really kind of getting up to the standards that they thought he might be. A son of Munnings, you love that stallion out of a Majestic Warrior mare. But closed willingly last time. Chase that pace a little close. Second time blinkers on the stretch out. Expect this horse to get a stalking trip.
And let's talk 4, 9, 12, 13. Touch on the one that draws in really quickly, Oxford Union. Because Burroughs K, the 16, draws in as well. Jerry Robb, Alexander Crispin gets the call here.
This is another one. I chased it 2 races back, maybe a sucker. Dropped down from 40 to 20. Rail worked outward, no real punch. It just the Robb factor off the claim, working percentages in the past, and the breeding certainly is there for this horse to kind of get back in the game against this group. You've got to demand a little bit of a price, and I'm even throwing the 2 in. Oh, what a night for Milan Milosevic. Third time blinkers, second time blinkers on the turf. You see that Comet traffic quarter. It was stalking 3 wide outside a horse, got to a ride at the 3-8, started to fade, and then steadied, and then shifted out and came back on a little bit again. So maybe, just maybe, because he's had a lot of trouble. But you go back even that second race out at 1 mile and an eighth. 7th, only beaten a deuce. 61 buyer, weighted quarter, check, block. There's some ability there. Maybe it shines through today. I'm using the 9. That's my mom's birthday, 429. Mom, we miss you. 429, 4 and a 2. I will key those top and bottom with some horses.
Angel numbers coming in for Keith Fusel, 4, 9, 2, 13. Keith, let's talk about your value plays as we wrap up your picks on the card. Let's talk about your first one in race number 1, 6 to 1. Queen of the Dance, Charlie Frock, Tori Alba there for the number 9.
Just think the pace of the race is really going to fall in her favor. Gambit goes out. Queen of the Dance, didn't really run Timon. Toss it out. Has a good race over this turf. I think this horse can go ahead and stalk, pounce. Rear view mirror, here comes Once an Eagle, but maybe hold on for dear life.
Race number 7 is your next one here with Trash Talkin' Larry at 5 to 1. A good jockey-trainer combination here.
Yes, they hit on Sunday. B. West, yes, the road goes through him. This horse has paired up some good races, a little freshing route to sprint angle. It's positive for Corrales. He's run against the right kind. I'm interested to see what kind of price we get on him. I think he'll fall through the cracks a little bit. Yes, I think he brings a good run. If things heat up, if there's a duel going on past the 3/8, I'm going to be licking my chops.
And you bookend, we just discussed in race number 10 in the 15-1 Fire and Knives. Edmund Merriman, Force Boys to wrap up your value plays of the day.
We had a trifecta of value plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just talked about it. Force Boys on the key for me. A little bit more experience, I think. Had some issues around that turn, drifting out last time. They could have tweaked the equipment. Expect a big number. Expect a good trip. Will it be enough? I don't know. But at that kind of number, I got to take my shot.
Absolutely. Keith, thank you so much for joining us here on the Fridays at morning today at the races. And we will see you in the afternoon. First post time in about 25 minutes.
All right, good luck, everybody.